Hey, this is Jaytard from the Blox Bros, and welcome back to the Blox Bros Labs, where I show you the best tutorials, aesthetic features, and innovations from the Blox Bros, and this is episode 2 of this series, so without further ado, I think we should just get started. Alright, today we're going to be heading into the detailing labs, where we're going to be employing methodology from the alternative uses of Blox Lab over there, forgot the name for a second, and the complementary Blox Lab over there. So without further ado, let's just get started with this. So first I'm going to show you the non-detailed exteriors, and then over there are the interiors. I tried to use very common block palettes to kind of show you that this isn't that hard to do to mix it up and make it detailed. You can use very basic resources if you're in survival. Even if you're not in creative, you can be very detailed with your structures. So let's get back to it. So on this side, I just made a flat outside and added some archway style supports to add a little bit of detail. But look at that for a second, kind of take it in, and now look at this. Does this not look 100 times better? This, I just use wood and cobblestone, but here I mixed up the color palette with wood, wool, leaves, and all the cobblestone regular, can't speak today, again, from the other side, and just added onto it to give it a little bit of extra push. So that is that, and now we head on to the next one, where we have a modern styled one with red wool trim. Now look at that. And now look at this. I added extra geometry with the stone slabs under there, because geometry always makes your buildings look better. If you have the choice to use a non-solid block or a half block or stair, anywhere to add some trim or detail, do it, because it really helps. And then instead of having a flat iron block trim down here, I added little stone slab supports to give it a little bit of variety on the bottom. And here I added planters because it's an exterior. You want some trees and leaves on the outside. And doesn't that just look way better than a flat surface over there with torches on it? And this one, instead of using torches, since it's a modern style thing, you're not going to have torches in a modern day house, I put glowstone covered with glass to make it look like there's not even a light there, kind of like in regular houses of today. So that is that, and let's go to the next one, and here we have just a wooden plank wall with a raw wood trim, and that is that, and we go over to this side. Does this not look better? I mean, I added a lot of geometry with the wooden fence posts and the raw wood kind of support looking things that look natural to the building structure, and I added wooden slabs on the top to give it a little bit of extra geometry on the top, so that from far away even you can see new detail, and when you go back in, it just gives it a lot of variety, I think, in where you're looking. It kind of pops, you know. Not to sound like an interior decorator. It's not my intention, but... And I also added chairs, because this is the start of the interior section of the video. And I think that really adds to the atmosphere of a house, if you're going to do that. But you don't have to do that, of course, if you just want it to be like a spawn area of your map or something like that. But let's head on to the next one, and here I just try to make it look very medieval, using stone brick and raw wood and torches and whatnot. And here we have the updated and detailed version, where I added stone brick stairs on the bottom to give it a little bit of curvature. And I also added, instead of having flat under the windows, I added a stone brick stair on the bottom, so that way it seems like the window is more part of the wall than not part of the wall. Alright, so I also added stone slabs instead of just having it flat, because any flat building really can be improved with a little bit of detail. So I did that, and I added the stone brick stair style trim from there, except I employed it into the wall, And here, instead of having just torches, I had a fence post where I placed a torch on top of it to kind of look like a, what would you call it, a chandelier or half chandelier, or whatever you would call it, that they used to hang on medieval walls. Maybe a torch holder is a better way of saying that. And here I added a table in the middle, sort of a meeting table. King Arthur's round table, if you want to do that, because it is a medieval style building. So I have that there, just to add a little bit of extra ambience to the structure. And I think this just looks, it feels better. It seems more of a actual building, and this seems more of a Minecraft building. And when you're building, you always want it to look as realistic as possible, or as realistic to the vision you had as possible. Sort of the theme you're getting at. Don't make it look like a flat house. That is something that is not good, and is something that can really be improved if you're just starting off on building. And I know a lot of people just like flat dimensions, and it's a lot easier to build like that, but the extra effort really pays off in the end. So, without further ado on that theming, let's get to the next one. Here, I just did try to do a dilapidated kind of feel, and I've seen a completely stone brick mossy texture wall with a mossy texture floor in a map that I saw a YouTuber play, and it lacked quality. It seemed like they just kind of threw it together and didn't put time and effort and care into it. So that's why I put this one in here. It may seem out of place with the other styles, but this is more of a dilapidated, run-down kind of ruin, where I put some vines on the bottom, and I saw them do vines on the bottom in the map that the YouTuber was playing. And I also put torches on the floor, because a lot of people like to do that in ruined buildings. But let's look over at the more detailed one. Now, doesn't this look way better? There's way more detail. It looks much more ruined because we added cracked stone brick to give it a little bit of realism and atmosphere. We also added grass on the floor to make it look like this place has been overgrown and taken down by nature. And here, instead of having a flat wall, I added extra geometry, which always helps, and added lights under it instead of having torches on the ground. And this, if it was completely inside and didn't have the glass above it, it would be very, very dark, which would add that sort of dilapidated, scary, dark feeling that you want in a ruined building, so that always helps. And also, instead of just using grass, since if it's going to be overgrown, it's going to have different varieties of plants, I used ferns as well, because that gives it a little bit of differentiation from the other blocks, and every detail helps, I think. And I think it's very important to look like you put a lot of care into it if you're going to be publishing your maps, like I did with the map pack, which I will link to as well. But I try to put as much care and detail into that map. I tried to do a dilapidated feel in the bases for that one too, so I tried to do this, but the grass all died. So you are going to have some light for this grass. So maybe this isn't you can't employ this to every dilapidated building kind of thing you do, but it is sure great when you can. So there we go with that. And here is the final one. This is the evil fortress look that I was going for, that you might build in the nether, where I put in mycelium carpet kind of thing, where you're going through the fortress, and you just have a little bit of gray, dreary carpet to go along with an evil fortress, because are you going to have a nice white carpet in an evil fortress? I don't think so. You're going to have a very dreary, dark carpet that actually emits little particles of darkness. And now we go over to this one. This is the one I'm most proud of, because this one really just screams evil fortress to me. I tried to make it do that as much as possible. So instead of having torches, I also added a fire pit, which it really adds a lot to the structure. Also, instead of having a flat archway, on top of the archway, I added a stair trim type of thing to give it a little bit of extra geometry, because that always helps, as I've said before, many times before. So I also added a little bit of curvature to the bottom using stone brick stairs. And that is about it. Oh wait, no. I forgot one thing. I added a fence post there to add a little bit of extra geometry. I keep using that. I need to figure out a different word for geometry and then employ that word in the next video, because it seems we are coming to an end on this one. So, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, rating, and or comment on what we did right, what we did wrong, and what we can improve. Also, if you want to stay posted with all of our tutorials, aesthetic features, and any other videos that we do in the Blox Bros Labs, or any other videos on this channel, you can of course subscribe, because it is much appreciated and we would very much enjoy having you. And also, next time we will be doing independent rooms in a house, so you can kind of get certain details for certain parts of your house instead of just overarching themes over there. So that is going to end it off for this video. This has been Jaytard from the Blox Bros, and I will see you next time on the Blox Bros Labs. This has been Jaytard from the Blox Bros, and I bid you adieu. Thank you so much for watching.